back in session. The Honorable Mayor Todd Pullis presiding. Please remove all hands, turn all cell phone papers and off, please.
I'd like to call this county court to order, please. If we could, Commissioner Wright, would you please lead us in our prayer?
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day that you have stored in us today. And Lord, be with us tonight as the citizens of Hardeman County and us commissioners come together and make the best decisions for this county. That we find in our heart that we can disagree, but we can come together and know that we can agree to disagree.
Sure.
And Lord, be with those tonight that are not feeling well, that we have you in our prayers, that can lift you and make you better. And Lord, be with those who lost loved ones, Lord, because we know it's a hard time for those. And Lord, that we know that one day we will see them again. And Lord, I ask a special prayer for my friend and our co-commissioner, Thomas Pope. He's going through a hard time. He's got bad sickness. You all know that he needs help. But his faith is good. I asked him the other day, what can we do for you? He said, the Lord is doing it for me. He said, we just need your prayers. So all that we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Commissioner Layton, please lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
I will govern myself to the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. If we could, Madam Clerk, if we could please have roll call.
Bell.
Here.
Bufford.
Here.
DeBerry.
Here.
Gillum.
Here.
Grantham.
Here.
Hensley.
Here.
Jenkins.
Here.
Kennemore.
Here.
Lake. Here. Lanier.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Hope. Sane.
Here.
Vickers.
Here.
Queens.
Here.
Wright.
Here. All right. And thank you, Commissioner, for that prayer. For Commissioner Poker. I want to remember Commissioner Poker, please. Commissioners, I believe you do have your minutes from last session from January 17th. You've had a chance to review those.
I said, Mo, accept these minutes.
Second. Motion's been made properly and seconded. Any questions? All right, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Okay, we have some appointments. I believe you noticed on your, may have been left out the packet for the notaries. We have 4 notaries.
So moved, Greg.
Second. All right. All those in favor, signify by saying
Aye.
all opposed. All right, we got our notaries, and we have our bicentennial committee. As you can see, I believe that was in the packet. If I could, if y'all had a chance to look at that, have a motion to approve those for the bicentennial. This is our 200th year, and we'd like to approve those, please.
So moved. Second.
Moved and second. All those in favor, signify by saying
Aye.
all opposed. All right, thank you very much. We'll move into, let's see, is Miss Lambert, Miss Vanessa, you here? Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, she wanted to address the commission, I believe, for our bicentennial. You need some help, you have someone right there? Okay, do you have some information there? Sure.
And these are the books that we've done in the past.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
didn't know if y'all wanted to see samples of those. Like the old books.
Do the commissioners remember the brown books that were put out, what, 25, 30 years ago, maybe?
About 40 years.
40 years? 40 years ago. Wow. Okay.
80, 2000. This is yeah. Just say. Do you want me to bring this up?
Yeah, if you'd like to, we can pass them over. If you'd like to, address the commission right here. Okay. Vanessa, you have the floor.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
And-
Is that on? Thank you, that's, microphone is on there, so. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so like you said, it's the bicentennial year, 2023. Or, yeah, and there's a committee of all of us that, and Greg Powell was the chairman, who passed away. And we're gonna do a book very similar to the ones that y'all are seeing to commemorate the 200th year of Hardeman County. And we've got a lot of participants in the county that have done their family histories and have turned into us and have kind of gotten going, but we need an extra push. We need the county support to get the book published. We wanted to do a nice, as you can see, 11 bound world, similar to commemorate our history and our personal history, not just the history of the county, but the families that were here first and have passed their history on to to their families. And if you'll notice in those books, it's not in the beginning in 1823, this is Hardeman County. It's like the Bolts family and the Lake family and the Lanier family and how they told their own stories. Plus, it's got history too. And so we got together with the Clan Press. Clint is a representative of them, and we worked out how to get the book published. But again, times are not as wonderful as they were in the 80s and 2000. We didn't just go out and get a book on. We're going to need the county support also. We're hoping that y'all have looked forward enough and decided to commemorate Hardeman County, hopefully with some sort of documentation of that. And I'll let Clint tell you from their perspective what it's going to take.
Good evening, County Commissioners. Good evening, Mayor. This idea that you have in this document right here comes from a program we did recently for the bicentennial of the County of Kentucky. Their commissioners actually came to us and said, we know you publish books in Kentucky a lot. We're in southeast Missouri, in Sykeston, Missouri, but we publish a lot of books in Kentucky. So they said, what could we get if we were to fund a book? So my boss went back and forth with them, and ostensibly a program we came up with after that was very successful was what you see here under proposal, that we could guarantee that you have in a coffee table style book like you see there, at least 200 pages of history of Hardeman County, the towns, communities, churches and schools that are no longer here, plus Greg, who unfortunately passed away last summer, he has thousands, by him being a ballpark number, thousands of photos of the county on his laptop that he was planning on using for the book already. A lot of those will be in that 200-page section. So that's the program essentially we came up with after work for that county.
in Kentucky. You're not obligated to do this at all. We will continue going forward with the book. The county commission can subsidize it financially, but what that means then is it will be a much thinner book. It'll just depend on how many family histories we get. And just as a plug, if you are, whether you live here for literally a day or multiple generations, if you or anyone behind you has not submitted your free family history for the book, please do so. It's in the book, you don't have to buy the book, but it'll be in there alphabetically with all the other families. But the book will just, the page count and the history amount will just be determined by what Vanessa, Captain Mayfield, and a few others that are on the book committee can come up with. And that's part of our company's foundation is doing books like this. We've done about 150 of them over in 7 different states. So
You had a lot of participation so far from the families.
yeah, pretty good amount. We have been working on. I got Greg and the group signed up January 22.
Yeah.
So it's been just over a year. We've had pretty good participation. We still have a ways to go in the sense of making the book the best it can be, so when it comes out, that people will buy it in the post sale. But the committee was working hard. Unfortunately, we did have to delay everything, kind of circle the wagons a little bit after Greg passed to figure out how we go forward. But we decided that late summer, early fall to keep going forward.
We're about halfway there,
About halfway.
as far as participation goes.
Is there a time frame that these have to be turned in? Do you have a projection
We
on your?
moved it back to see what the county would do,
Yeah,
and how,
because we just formed this committee, actually, of course, Commissioner Grantham, there to be for the bicentennial committee. So we want everything to kind of coordinate through that. And we'd probably need to refer that to the committee so they can coordinate with the efforts we've done. You know, and whatever efforts are going on for this.
Yes, Mayor, this is our bicentennial, and it is very important that we take a look at this and give our best effort to supply what we can to the folks and give our best book. This is a market history that will be here forever, and I would just request that let my committee take a look at this and get back to the commission and give a presentation.
Question. Have you considered selling ads or spots in the covers of the book, and rather than using the county funds, use basically advertising funds?
Yeah, we actually do that. So I think is that Washington County right there, that blue book? If you look at the table of contents, you'll see something that's either feature pages or sponsor pages. I'm not quite sure what, it could be called different. That is the section we will have in this book, where businesses, churches, schools, and organizations in Hardeman County, no matter where they are, as long as they're active still, if it's something that was in the past, that can be part of history. But those are pages that we give out where they can pay, business and organization can pay $250 to take one page, write their history. It's not an ad, it's not like a newspaper ad or a yearbook ad. They write their history in there. They get a couple photos and 750 words. Churches and schools are $125, and they can do the same thing. So that's something that we've done for all of our books to help subsidize the financing of it. And in turn, what the book committee gets is they get more pages added into the book to put the history of the county. So the more feature pages that are sold, the bigger the book.
So y'all are looking at doing both, or
Yeah, we will look at doing both. And with the feature pages, again, nothing is guaranteed, nothing's promised. So it's just up to the businesses, churches, schools, and organizations if they can afford it and are willing to write their history and whatnot. And often we get a lot, but it varies county to county.
So you're looking for $20,000, it looks like.
That number would guarantee that we would have at least a 200-page Hardeman County history section in the book.
Right.
Yes.
I think you will get more participation, like Commissioner Bell stated, that if you open it up, to the, community and letting everybody know what's going on, because we have a lot of historic families in Hardeman County. So, I think we can get more participation.
We've tried to go through well, not the newspaper, but everything but, Hatchet Press, we sent out mail. We, through the library, through a lot of different radio, we try to get out. Unfortunately, the guy that had all the contacts, passed away. So.
Did any of you in the past, not to interrupt, but to that point, did any of you or anyone behind me perhaps receive in the last 6 to 8 months a flyer or a brochure in the mail about this book? Because I personally came down here and mailed them out to all the post offices around the county, and we paid for it as part of our marketing expense. Someone here has to have gotten it because you all live in Hardeman County. So to that point, that's the outreach we do with every book. We get the county group signed up so that it's no financial risk to them. They don't put any money down. We then inherit the financial risk of publishing the book and all the costs. But then in turn, normally what we do is we get pre-sale orders and feature pages, as Mr. Bell mentioned, that help bring in revenue. In this instance, this is the very first time we have looked to pitch to a county commission board to do this type of proposal after it worked for the one in Kentucky. So we'll find out if this works, and if it does, we'll keep trying. If it doesn't, we'll see what else could work in other counties.
So what if you want $20,000 from the commission to guarantee you 200 pages?
Yes.
Okay. So when you collect money, and you collect enough money for 200 pages, not counting our 20,000, what happens? What happens with the money? How I look at it, we need to help ourselves before we donate money. The county has to protect our money. So just give you, say, 20,000 without people making an effort to raise money for their projects, it will never stop.
Right. I mean, we'll look at it as a cooperation. I'm not gonna get on your show, but we haven't had any, county support or city support yet. So this is us saying, please support us. I don't know a better way to say it.
Yeah,
I know we have contacted the city councils and we've been in touch with the county commissions in the past. And quite honestly, I mean, we've got about half the families that we need in order to do a decent book. But, we get a lot of, it'd be nice to do, but, I hope somebody else does it.
So did you say when you do a family, do they pay?
No, it's free.
It's free.
Yeah, they get, what, 500 words and a picture for free. We don't sell the book, but what am I trying to say? You don't have to buy to get in, you get in for free, but we offer the book for sale. So, we've had a lot of participation, but not a lot of, want to buy the book.
And to the point of the amount, we can go lower, but the page count that's guaranteed would come down in the same ratio. But also, what we did with the county of Kentucky is that they paid it over 3 fiscal years. At the end of the current one they were in, they paid a down payment. At the start of the next one, which actually was only a couple months after that meeting, they paid basically the middle third. Then at the start of the 3rd fiscal year, they paid us the final payment. We'd be happy to do that with you guys as well.
But I was saying though, as myself, I would want to see what y'all do on y'all's behalf.
Oh, I see.
I mean, before we get to, I'll be glad to work with the commission and generate some sort of
Chairman,
additional outreach.
I would still encourage this commission to allow the history committee to explore all of the avenues and then report back to this commission on the options that we would have.
Yeah.
And refer that to.
Not saying.
Okay, so that'll be your motion?
That's my motion.
Okay, we have a second. All right, any discussion on that? We're gonna refer this, let's make sure you understand the motion, we're gonna refer this to the bicentennial committee. Any discussion? If none, ready to vote. All those
favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? All right, thank you. If you would, please, yes, you'll talk with Commissioner Brown. Thank you.
You want to see?
Do you want me to just collect these after the meeting,
All right, we're gonna have, move into officials, county officials reports. Christie, do you have anything? Dr. Smith? Okay. Ms. Lilly, do you have anything tonight? Okay. I believe our superintendent of highways, Casey Swift, has some information.
Good evening. Tonight I've got some budget amendments, quarterly report, and work proposal. I've got 3 budget amendments. If you want to go through them individually, I'll do that. I'll just go over them briefly, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. First one is, it's a budget amendment to move money from reimbursement when we built the road out of the landfill back into our rock account. It's $47,427.40. That's the first budget amendment. If anybody don't have any questions, I'll move to the next one.
Mr. Chair, we need to vote on these all at once.
You can do it all at once, or you can do it whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
Sorry. The second one is, where we had those bonuses in the Christmas, we took it out of our account, and then we got reimbursed for the ARP money. This is just to correct all the accounts, the money come out of it, so that's the bonus, Christmas bonuses, and that's all the accounts we had to put the money into, to be everything correct. Anybody got any question on that? That's $19,258.78. I'll move to the third one. The third one is where we had to sell equipment at our auction. It was $116,810. We were wanting to move that, if you remember back in January, I brought you guys a list of the skid steer we were wanting to purchase. Me and the board, and they've already approved it to go ahead and purchase it, depending on if you guys approved budget amendment. But we go on with the CAT 299 skid steer with several attachments. I think it's right at 105,000 something. It's not on here, but that's, they're moving the whole amount into the equipment. 116,000. Whatever we want to spend, put up into the fund now. That's all the budget amendments. If y'all want to approve them, you'll have to do a roll call vote.
Make a motion to approve.
Second question first.
Okay.
Okay. With the amendments, you moving from your own,
Yes. As long as you guys approve it. If you approve it, this is the budget amendment I present to you guys, and if y'all approve it, then that's giving you permission to move the money from the. Yeah, it comes out, it either come out of our fund balance or.
and your fund balance,
Yeah, no, not the general, but our fund.
not the general, okay, okay. You
We have
right.
a first and second. Any discussion on that? If not, we'll have a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please.
Bell,
Yes.
Buford,
Yes.
DeBerry,
Yes.
Gillum,
Yes.
Grantham,
Yes.
Hensley,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Kennemore,
Yes.
Lake,
Yes.
Lanier,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Sane,
Yes.
Vickers,
Yes.
Wing,
Yes.
Wright.
Thank you, guys. The last thing I have is a quarterly report and work proposal. We approve on it as well. Again, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll go through it, or if you guys want to touch on anything, let me know. I'll be glad to answer.
What about the power?
Chapel? They have a meeting, we're having a field review March 1st in Jackson for Powell Chapel Bridge there. What that's gonna do is do the final review over everything, make sure everything's good to go. And then whenever they do it, they'll let it out for bids, and then they'll, whoever gets the deal started. It's still probably 6 to 8 months out before they know anything, who's gonna contract, who's gonna do the contract.
Hey, so you know if they're gonna tear it out or they're gonna go around?
I told Mr. DeBerry earlier, Commissioner DeBerry, we talked briefly, the way the plans, it looks, is they're gonna build one section onto the previous bridge, the bridges, existing bridge is there. They're gonna build the west side, and that's what it looks like from the plans, but I don't know more March first, but they're gonna build that side, leave the bridge there, and then when they get that side completed, they'll tear the other side down and start the other side. Yeah, I believe it will. That's what the blueprints read, but I'm gonna find out March first for sure, and I'll be able to come back and tell you guys March when I find out. Any other questions on the quarter report or the work proposal?
Motion been made and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed.
Well, thank y'all. That's all I
Thank you,
got.
sir. Thank you, Superintendent. Yes, sir.
Yes. Moving around slowly, but we got a lot of them, we're still hitting this on some places. Probably can find a spot to leave.
Ms. Amber Moore?
Okay, I'll be brief, I'll try to be anyway. As I told y'all, legislation passed last year that we've got to have a verified, paper verified paper trail with the elections. That means new equipment's coming in. I told Mayor Post earlier that, of course, we know we're already in the middle of trying to get budgets prepared for next year. This money will have to be put in place for next year's budget, but as I said, the state will be reimbursing us 100%. Can I tell you what, where we're at on the project? We're getting ready to send out the RFPs and things, and like I said, we only have 5 companies that could even bid on it to begin with, because since it is election equipment, only 5 vendors are certified by the state of Tennessee. So we, the commissioners, have already begun to look at machines. My association has not met since 2019 COVID. So therefore, my commission has not seen all the work of the machines and how they function and everything. So we've started the process. I told Mayor Close earlier that to try to be fair among all 5 vendors, they are coming in for us to review their machines, see what they have to offer, ask them questions, and kind of have some idea before we make a judgment when it comes time a decision on the bid opening. With that being said, like I said, with the new equipment coming, as I spoke to y'all earlier last month, we got issues with the building. The bottom line is we have ran out of room. And our machines that we've seen by what they've sent me as far as control-wise and stuff, first of all, they are bigger as far as in what has to come with the boxes, everything. So we ran out of room. When COVID did hit, election commissions are under some guidelines to already begin with it. People have to remain 4 feet apart. We just don't have it. Now I drew out, and several men looked at it, and I appreciate the commissioners who either called or came by and looked at the building. People have got to be at so many feet. And with that being said, if we're doing paper, you gotta have privacy booths and you're 4 to 6 feet apart. Paper is gonna be an issue. We gotta have a fire protection room. Like I told y'all, in 2 weeks' time, we throw over 6,000 voters through. Well, there's gonna be 6,000 pieces of paper just from early vote or more. Because like next year will be a very huge election. I know the county is going through some stuff. I can tell how something should flow. Having done it for 17 years, I can know how many people I'm gonna put in a room to try to vote. But to put it all out in square footage and everything, I can't. I will give you a little bit of history of what I found out. I'm not the only county going through this. Other counties are in the same predicament. I will tell you that I spoke with Chester County, and they alone, they have 11,000 voters where we have 14,500. And with that being said, their commission is going to be building them a 4,800 square foot building. Now, I know it's a lot, and I can just tell you though, I don't know what it would cost, I don't know what it would take, but I really wish the commission would consider trying to build this building. I know there's some property in the county, like I said, that the county owns, and I would really like to see before we bring all this in and make sure that we've got plenty of room for everybody to do what they need to do. And with this new equipment coming, like I said, there are issues with the old building. First of all, it's out of the room. Second of all, we got a moisture problem. We know we do. Mayor, that went down 3 times today. When you contact the companies, it's nothing on their end. They're saying it's in the building. And we can't function that way. We cannot function that way. So we've got to do something. And like I said, we've had a great landlord, this is nothing about him or the building, he's done everything we ever could, it has him to do. But the bottom line is, it's too small for what we need now. And like I said, with the growth of maybe what may happen with Blue Oval, I hope and pray that in the next few years that we see even bigger growth in the county. And if we do, we just need to be prepared for it. So, do y'all have any questions concerning any of the issues?
I got, so there has to be a paper trail. How long do you have to store those and keep those in a file somewhere? And is that part of this housing?
We have to keep them for over 2 years.
So 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, but that's not including everything we have to keep. We have to already keep documents such as any maps that we've ever dealt with. We have to keep anything that's ever dealt with a lawsuit, and no matter whatever the history of the commission is, there's already documents that have to be permanently kept. You know, minutes, things like that nature, and all of it just needs to be protected.
As far as tracking votes after 2 years.
As far as tracking votes and all that, because now it becomes paper, and like I said, and you're not even talking about that, you've got, you just say if 6,000 people vote, and with paper ballots, it won't be like you can just cancel out that vote because somebody did something wrong. You've got to spoil that ballot, keep that ballot, and then reissue a new ballot. So we're talking about a lot of paper that's gotta be protected, because in all this stems from 2020. You cannot believe what states are still going through legislation laws. I'm dealing with fiscal notes every day because of some of the stuff that's still happening from 2020. You know, trying to fight issues because, I mean, I say this not only because I'm a Tennessee election official, I say it because when you review the election laws of other states, Tennessee is probably by far the most secure and safest state there is. And I say it in all honesty. But like I said, you don't have those issues across the state because of what's going on with them. Tennessee's paying a price for it. But yes, paper ballot, you won't have the option of just going to a machine now and hitting a button, and then you're gonna actually see paper with what you did. It will go into a fat, locked, sealed box. When the election's over with, everything is scanned through scanners from early voting and election day. So then that's when the results will come out. And with that comes, like I said, you know, the only thing is that we may be able to cut a few workers, not many. But if you have to, and there's legislation out there right now for hand counting. If it comes down to hand counting, you're gonna make up for your employees back because you're going to have more than one counting board like we have now. So I mean, it's just a lot of issues. Like I said, the biggest thing is we've just outgrown the building. We need the room. And I know that we talked about some buildings that are not feasible for the county owns to fix and have work. I mean, like I said, and it's really not an option of trying to move me out and move me back in. It's to waste that money. So like I said, but I just really wish that, you know, the board or the commission would consider trying to help us out some kind of way.
Amber, I know you mentioned Chester County. Any idea what the other counties are doing? I'm sure this is affecting just about everything.
They're pretty much all doing the same thing. They're getting the commissions to try to get an engineer and architect to write something that would suit for county, most of them on county property and stuff. But like I said, I just happened to be talking to the Chester County ALE. I knew that she had gone back a year ago because her stuff, her area was so small. She had stuff located in 7 different areas. And they were just worried, they were scared to death about the security issue. And she dealt with water and it started rusting her machine. So now we're fixing to put it. And the thing about it is, if that happens with our machines, yeah, the state's paying for the machines right now. But if the machines get messed up by not being moved to a safe and secure place, the county's going to pay for new machines. And there's not, I mean, most of them are at least anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000.
Amber, upon a relocation, what would be the latest date that you would have for a deadline?
Well, I mean, we got 3 big elections next year, the presidential. I would want to try to be in it before the end of the year.
By the end of this year?
Mm-hmm.
Mayor Collins, I'd like to, after hearing Ms. Moore's grievances about the building and the size and constrictions that she has, I'd like to move that the mayor's office and the building committee contact an engineering firm to explore the price and design of a building for it's more keeping in mind to be placed on county property.
And is there an option that the landowner now consider adding on?
I mean, you still have to, we would have to shut down, I mean, it's gonna have to be good. You can find out where the moisture's coming from, that whole building have to be good, so I still operate on a day-to-day basis. And like I said, and I think that building's only about 2,400 square feet, somewhere in there.
December, you know what our rent was there.
It's $16,000 a year, so it's about, I think, it's over $1,300 a month.
Is the number of machines based on the voting, the register, that you have, registered voters, or is the number, that's how they base the number of machines that you have to
That's how the
have
state has this.
per county?
How many square feet of facility?
Well, I mean, I don't know, like I said, I can look at something and see if it works, Jackie, but the thing about it is, like I said, in the voting area alone, people need to be 4 to 6 feet apart. There's 16 of y'all, and you look where you're sitting.
You said Chester County was built to 20.
Chester County has 11,000 voters, they're gonna build a building for 4,800 square feet. They looked at even other buildings, and they told me it was not worth, they were gonna have to renovate too. Everything they had was gonna cost us, it's half as much as trying to just build something. So they decided to just build her building. I mean, if there was something in the county owned that would be feasible and could work, I mean, I'm not against any of that, but the thing about it is like I said, I think you're just gonna still run into repair problems with any of the buildings that we might own, or how old they are.
The building
That
committee,
building, I think, over 30 years old.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say, the building committee's meeting, is coming Monday at 6 o'clock, and just gonna be one of the items that we discussed.
So was that, was your motion, Commissioner Bradford, to refer that to the building committee, and let them?
Yeah, your office and the building committee, refer to the building committee first, and they can refer to you, I suppose, but the motion on the table is to, do it exploratory with a engineering firm. And I don't know if the building committee can contact an engineering firm, or if the mayor's office needs to contact an engineering firm, if it goes that far.
There are a number of things that we can explore, but we can do that.
That's the motion I put on the table.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. Who seconded that, please? Is that John? Okay, Mr. Williams. Discussion on the motion, please. All right, saying aye. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. That meeting is, Commissioner Bell, it's Monday night.
Monday night at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Okay, Mr. Graves? I think you probably have some good news for us, is that right?
Good news. Got some good news tonight. Good evening, everybody. We'll be opening tomorrow, landfill, except for we'll be returning to our regular hours of 7 to 12 and 1 to 4. Trying to think of anything else. We did raise the tipping fees. That's been, I think, put out there, but I just want y'all know they were $22.50 per ton, it's on $28 a ton. And we know we're going to be busier than we were before, just because of reaching out to a lot of our business owners and stuff, and people we do contract work with, and they just let us know they're busier. So that's going to be, in a way, look at, we're going to start recouping some money that we've been spending so much, taking it elsewhere. That should help us out. So,
Are we gonna cease the, going south to Walnut then?
Walnut, right. Yes, sir. We've got the road laid out, and thank you to Casey and his guys for getting the road put in for us. It's been a concerted effort by a lot of different folks, commissioners, solid waste committee, thank you. We will be kind of in a learning curve for a little bit, because we know we're going to be busier, and we're going to get it down, and get going. So, if you need anything, you know, you can call me or call us all the way, so I'll just don't get hold of them.
Thanks. Stephen, since we amended that contract with CNP, and I don't know if it was in place in January, was it? Or was it February?
Was
It was signed,
it February?
probably so.
It was February.
Are we running close to the 60, would you say, in February?
Yes, it's just hard to gauge that a lot of times too, though, and especially on a short number of months from the change. But, I believe it's been effective in what we did. So, but if it needs to be, shifted or needs to look at it, because I know going through fiscal year, I think we're gonna meet with Mr. Howard again too. And we just revisit some things, but that'll give us some time too, though, between now and July 1 to kind of see what's going on with the traffic.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you all very much.
I appreciate you.
Mr. Burnett, you there? Jamie Burnett, thank you. All right.
Excuse me, I'll quick update, call volume is still around the same, right around 180 to 200 mark. I think we were right at 180 this past month. No other major changes as of this point. And the only other thing I had was, I think Ms. Miller was gonna recognize some folks for us.
Yeah, we will do that here later on.
Later,
Yeah.
okay, that's all I had, unless y'all have any questions.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Anybody else that will look anything? Mr. Pierce, do you have anything from zoning? You know, end up with our sheriff here.
Time's up. Just an update on the animal control office, for the month of January. Office calls, we had 12 cell phones, 33 911 missed calls, 28 dollars picked up, 14 total calls against those 14 were 73. Had one major transport, out of the, animal shelter for the month of January that processed 24 dog calls belonging to, 20 of them were shelter, 4 was foster, dogs. We were trying to find homes for 39 puppies, 23 falling under shelter, 16 in foster care. We shipped 63 total dogs out of Hardeman County in the month of January. Building permits, issued in the month of January were 10, variance before the Board of Appeals were 0. With that said, February's activities at the planning and the, BZA meetings was, enriched and due to the parliamentary procedure, how things are submitted and the timelines and the notifications of those items will be coming before you next month. So, got any questions about those, my office is, has an overall policy come by, we'll discuss. Any questions? Have a lovely night.
Sheriff Newman, please, sir.
I'll end this quick. A lot of y'all were, inquiring last time I gave y'all an update on the letter about, the roads. I have a list of, the roads that we've done. And as of last Friday, we picked up 68,700 pounds of garbage. Herman Road, Mildo Road, Old Highway 64, Old Highway 125, Summer Drive, Lake Hardeman Road, Van Buren, Smith Road, that took 4 days. Indian Creek Road took 4 days. Park Swain, Ginger Chapel, Winwood Farm Loop, Mecklenburg, Middleton Loop, Bildo, Hannis, 3 illegal dump sites, 1 on Cedar Grove Loop, 1 on Newcastle Road, and 1 on Chapel Road. And that's a lot of garbage, y'all.
£68,000.
68,700 pounds. Last Friday, he went down Herman Road and picked up, 2,660 pounds off of Herman Road. And as of today in February, we have picked up, 7,520 pounds of garbage.
Sheriff, on those, three dump sites, do we find any violations, any names or grades?
No, usually most of that is, stuff where they tore down stuff or, tires, stuff like that. Usually dump sites, as far as garbage, they go through them, if they get a name out of them, we'll prosecute, but it seems like our criminals are getting a little bit smarter. I wouldn't say a lot, but a little bit.
Any questions for Sheriff?
Also, we'll let y'all know, got a phone call this morning from Commissioner Vickers. Mr. Vickers, you called me at a good time. Terry Dawson, our litter crew truck driver, he was, actually in, Nashville with his wife. They were still keeping her in the hospital, but he decided to come home early today. And, around 1 o'clock, he started picking up the same road from Balzer City Limits to Lake Harvey Road.
Any questions? Thank you, Sheriff.
Sheriff, can we put South Chapel Road on that list sometime?
Yes, sir.
Sheriff, we had a list there for the, property. What you see, we need to take these on.
I've got two vehicles that need to be, removed from, yeah, needs to be, removed from my inventory, declared surplus. 2004 Prosper Town and Country, and a 2011 Crown Vic.
So moved. Second.
Motion been made and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Mayor, I'd like to say something else
Yes, sir.
for the sheriff's department. Here in the ice storm, I did help them a little bit with them, but sheriff and his guys were out cutting roads.
Yes, sir.
And, just proud of that.
Thank you, Commissioner. About you say.
Thank you.
And county.
That's what I thought about.
All right, if there's no others, we'll move into our budget amendments. Commissioner Johnny Mayor has for us, please.
The budget committee did not meet this month. There were only a couple until the last minute. If you will refer to the amendments that were extra C, not in your packet, they should be numbered 1 through 8, because one of them had a change as well. If you have a question on one, most of the line item transfers, just stop me. We can probably take all these together. Number 1, Hardeman County Sheriff's Office, deputy and other supplies and materials, $1,250. Credit and postage, $1,250. Number 2 is Sheriff's Office, deputy and legal services, $4,000. Deputy and communication equipment, $2,300. And credit and medical and dental services, $6,300. Each balances. Hardeman County Sheriff's Office, deputy and other supplies and materials, $1,000. Credit and other office supplies, $1,000. Number 4, Sheriff's Office, deputy and other charges, $1,175. Credit and travel, $1,175. And they have reasons on the right if you want to refer to those, like I said, they're line item transfer. Number 5, Sheriff's Office, deputy and other supplies and materials,
$770, crediting in-service and staff development, $770. Number 6, sheriff's office, debiting other charges, $2,090, crediting training, $2,090. Number 7 is the county and budgeting department, debiting Social Security, $452.11, debiting employee Medicare, $132.02, for a total of $584.13, and that is being credited to accountants and bookkeepers, $584.13. And number 8, landfill, debiting Social Security, $292.59, and crediting accountants and bookkeepers, $292.59. Both of those have the same reason or justification. Our bookkeeper, Ashley Gibson, is going from part-time employee to contracted employee. Mayor, I move all these be approved as
Is there a second? First and second. Discussion. Seeing none, we will have, Madam Clerk, I believe we need a roll call here, please.
You said Ashley is going to contract?
Yes.
So what, agency is she gonna be contracting on?
She'll just be working as a contractor for us.
She's still gonna be with
She'll
us?
get 1099 instead of having benefits as Social Security, retirement, well, some part-time.
Okay. Okay.
Is that done by the job? You can't do that by the hours. Do you have any idea?
Right, she's getting that contract to us, to review that for the bookkeeping. Okay. Good, Madam Clerk, give a roll call, please.
Bell,
Yes.
Buffer,
Yes.
DeBerry,
Yes.
Gillum,
Yes.
Grantham,
Yes.
Hensley,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Kenmore,
Yes.
Lake,
Yes.
Lanier,
Yes.
Miller, Sane,
Yes.
Vickers,
Yes.
Weems,
Yes.
Wright.
Passes. If we, if y'all could look here, we have 2 resolutions. We have one for the sale, there's delinquent tax property, and I believe we do this every year. It has to be, needs to be signed about environmental risk. Let's see, y'all have that in your packet.
Move the resolution be approved.
Second.
Resolutions, we're doing both of those. Okay. Make sure everybody has those. And we have the resolution as well for the mayor to sign for the police, fire, public works, mutual and interlocal cooperation agreements. Y'all want to take these both at one time? If we could, all right. Let's have a motion, please. Do you have that? Motion second on the floor. Both resolutions. Any discussion on that? We take them both at one time. So we take them both.
Yeah, I'll do my motion.
Okay. Second on both. All right. All those in favor, if you would please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, now we have some announcements, and Commissioner Bethany Miller, we would like to recognize some very special people with us tonight, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Commissioner Miller real quick.
Okay, so if we can have Kim Hines come forward. Kim Hines has served as with the EMS department for over 30 years. So she's been licensed since 1993. And then Tommy Parchman can come forward. Tommy has been licensed since 1990. And Matt Ernst can come forward. Matt has been licensed since 1993. And if Harvey Vanderbilt can come forward, Harvey has been licensed since 1977.
good, just a picture of everybody.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all. All right, and then just let me say this here real quick on the announcements. HAA, they're always needing volunteers, and we appreciate the work that they do, the Hardeman Adoptive Animals. And if you know somebody that wants to volunteer, please go out there and see them and be an active part of their organization. And let me say this real quick as well. We have some more special guests here. Mayor Spencer, good to see you, sir. And we do have some more mayors. We have some municipal mayors here. We have Mayor Lane, and we have Mayor Bowden sitting up back here from Michael. Appreciate y'all being here. And Tony Kirk, is there an update real quick on our NIS for announcements?
I can give you an update real quick. Thank you, Dave. I was here about a year ago talking to you about us back where we were going to start broadband internet. We partnered with the NIS and started mainline construction in July of this past year. And I'm happy to say that we have finished Oliver and Whiteville area. We just finished Hornsby last night. It went live on Hornsby last night. Mr. Gillum.
Not on the road yet, but yeah.
We're close. We are in the process of pulling mainline construction in June. We'll be through there in about 3 weeks. Our first cabinets and customers will be starting hooked up in June in about a week and a half. So we've got about 50% of the county done. Looking to start in the Hebron area in about a month. That will be Hebron, Powell Chapel, Peavine, in that area. Our contractor is JLK. If you see the little white truck with JLK, that's one of the mainline topics. They put about 50,000 feet a week. As of today, we have 576 active customers. We started hooking customers up 3.5 months ago. We've got 316 waiting to be connected. My backlog is getting a little large, so we're going to add a third contractor in here probably in the next couple of weeks to help get the backlog down. And we added 30 new customers today. So as quick as we open the area up, the phone starts ready. So it's going well. If there's any questions or anything, my door is open. We thought this was going to be a 36-month project. It's going to look like it's going to be more like a 24-month. Maybe quicker, maybe 18 months if everything goes right and the state releases their money. It's quicker the state releases the grant money, the quicker we get the rolling. So, but we're doing well right now, and I appreciate the support the county and everybody's giving us. So, any questions?
Are you on Lake Harbor Road yet?
I'm on Lake Harbor Road. That's it.
Well, I'm just thinking for Lone Oaks. I mean,
Lone Oaks, we can get Lone Oaks off our original copy we got it. Won't be long. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you say you had done Wyvern?
Whiteville is open, that area's open now.
Okay, so you said it's already open, so okay, like if you have direct, like the weather, so it's already in place, because like I said, well, I'm asking you, it has a little writing come on your TV, and it was saying, do you want broadband, you just click on it, so is that the loading?
No, that's totally different.
It's different.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because it'll say it's loading, then, because it shows broadband, I'm just asking.
It's not the Wi-Fi, it's not the broadband we're putting on.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you a number to call after.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Tony, has it exceeded the projections?
It's right at our projections right now. The city was a little slow. We had some competitors with Spectrum, so they were a little slow. But once we got outside the city, it's more than double our projection on the spots outside the city.
So you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I just like to commend Tony and VEA. Thank you for doing that. Working hard, you're still working hard right now, so appreciate that.
It'll be done.
Yes, sir, thank you, appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right.
VEA did their night
Yeah, they will.
That's right, these guys are out working hard. The guys are out working day and night on getting everybody's power restored. We appreciate you coming. Commissioner Miller, do you have one more thing, please, or announcement?
Yes, I just have, I would like to go on record that for the ambulance department, we'll have something for the budget committee next month. So we,
And Mr. Mayor, I would like to thank my mayor, Jackson Calderon.
Yes, Jackie, I apologize when I said that earlier. I actually didn't see you. I apologize. Yeah, but that's all right. I saw Mayor about it, and I apologize. Welcome, as always. All right, if there's no other announcements, our next commission meeting will be on March the 21st. And if not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion second. We're hereby adjourned.